In the silent depths of the biological world, a secret war is being waged, a war against the permanence of the self. Nature is not a static observer. It is a master of disguise, capable of rewriting the very essence of life in a single heartbeat. To survive the impossible, some creatures must do the unthinkable. They must cease to be who they were. Welcome to the threshold of Metamorphosis, a journey into the unsettling reality of biological annihilation and rebirth. This is not just growth. It is a total reconstruction of the physical and genetic blueprint of an organism. These are the top 10 most fascinating metamorphoses, the most radical transformations ever recorded. From the crushing pressure of the midnight zone to the molecular soup of the chrysalis, nothing is as it seems. Prepare to witness the evolution of horror, beauty, and the absolute refusal to die. We begin our countdown in the cold shadows of the seafloor with a creature that eats its own past. Number 10. The tunicate, a creature that begins life with a brain, only to consume it in the name of efficiency. Born as a free-swimming wanderer, the larva possesses a primitive backbone and a cerebral ganglion to navigate the void. Its entire existence is a search for a permanent anchor, a place to sacrifice its mobility for a life of filter feeding. Once it anchors, the transformation is swift and merciless. It absorbs its own tail, its backbone dissolving into raw energy. With no further need for navigation, it performs the ultimate act of biological austerity. It digests its own brain. What remains is a mindless pump, a biological machine that has traded intelligence for the safety of the stationary life. The tunicate is a haunting reminder that in the eyes of evolution, even the mind is a luxury that can be discarded. It is the first of many transformations that challenge our understanding of what it means to be alive. Having consumed its own history, it lives on as a hollowed-out survivor in the dark. Number 9. The butterfly. A story we think we know, but one that is rooted in a chemical apocalypse. The caterpillar weaves its own tomb, sealing itself away from the world for a process of total self-destruction. Inside, enzymes called caspases are released, literally melting the creature's muscles, organs, and skin into a molecular soup. Everything that was the caterpillar is gone, except for the imaginal discs, dormant blueprints for the adult form. Using the energy of its own dissolved self, the butterfly builds a new body from the ruins of the old one. The emergence is a violent struggle, a final push to escape the tomb and claim a new identity in the air. It is the survivor of a self-inflicted chemical war, a miracle born from the total annihilation of its former self. The butterfly reminds us that beauty is often the ultimate reward for the most painful transformations. From the soup of death comes a creature of light, a masterpiece of biological engineering. Number 8. The Portuguese man-o'-war, a creature that blurs the line between the individual and the collective. It begins as a single larva, but through a unique colonial metamorphosis, it buds into 4 distinct types of individuals. One zooid becomes the float, a living sail that navigates the ocean's surface with no will of its own. Others become the dactylozoids, stinging hunters equipped with thousands of microscopic harpoons to paralyze prey. Each zooid is genetically identical, yet so specialized they cannot survive apart from the colony. The gastrozoids digest the prey, sharing nutrients with the entire colony through a shared circulatory system. It is a masterpiece of collective evolution, where the individual is sacrificed for the survival of the whole. The man-o'-war is a living ghost, a drifting reminder of the power of the colonial mind. In the chaos of the ocean, it survives as a single multi-headed predator. Number 7. Gall-inducing insects. The biological hackers that hijack the genetic code of plants. By injecting specific chemicals, these insects trick the plant into building a custom-designed nursery for their young. The gall is technically plant tissue, but its structure and nutrition are entirely controlled by the insect's genes. The plant is forced to divert its own energy to create high-calorie food specifically for its parasite. This extended phenotype metamorphosis turns the plant into a surrogate womb, protected from the outside world. Inside the gall, the larva undergoes its own internal metamorphosis, fueled by the host it has enslaved. When it finally emerges, it leaves behind a hollowed-out scar, a testament to its mastery of interkingdom manipulation. The gall insect reminds us that in nature, the strongest walls are often built by the ones you've deceived. In every leaf, a secret guest is rewriting the destiny of the tree. Number 6. The cuttlefish, the master of the millisecond metamorphosis, shifting its skin like a digital display. While most metamorphosis takes days or weeks, the cuttlefish can transform its appearance in less than a second. This is achieved through thousands of chromatophores, each connected directly to the creature's nervous system. It can even change the texture of its skin, raising bumps and ridges to mimic the jagged surface of coral or stone. In the cuttlefish, metamorphosis is a dynamic weapon, a way to disappear in plain sight or mesmerize a victim. Recent research suggests they rapidly cycle through hundreds of patterns until they find the one that fits. It is a creature that lives in a state of constant fluid transformation, a ghost of the reef. The cuttlefish is a master of the moment, a creature that has mastered the art of being anyone, anywhere. In the blink of an eye, the self is rewritten. Number 5. Parasitoid wasps. A journey into the heart of biological horror and internal takeover. The female wasp uses her ovipositor like a surgical needle, injecting her eggs in a virus that suppresses the host's immune system. As the larvae hatch, they begin a selective metamorphosis, eating the host alive while keeping it healthy and growing. The host is a living pantry, kept alive for weeks as the parasites consume everything but the vital organs. In the final stages, the larvae brainwash the caterpillar, forcing it to stop eating and stand guard over them. The host becomes a zombie bodyguard, protecting its own killers as they undergo their final transformation. When the adult wasps emerge, they leave behind a hollowed-out husk, a grim monument to their success. The parasitoid wasp is a master of the slow, methodical destruction of another life for its own rebirth. One life sacrificed, 1,000 new horrors born. Number 4. The flatfish. A transformation that requires the literal reconstruction of its own skull. They begin life as normal, symmetrical fish, but as they reach maturity, their world begins to tilt. In a process that would be horrific for any other creature, one eye migrates across the head to join the other. The fish settles on its blind side, which turns white, while its top side becomes a master of camouflage. Both eyes now work together from a single side, giving the fish a unique perspective on the world above. This radical metamorphosis turns a standard fish into a specialized ambush predator of the seafloor. It is a triumph of adaptation over symmetry, a creature that has embraced distortion to survive. The flatfish is a master of the hidden perspective, a creature that lives its life in a state of permanent tilt. Beneath the skin, the history of its struggle is written in bone. Number 3. The Mexican axolotl, the creature that has mastered the art of staying young forever. Unlike other amphibians, the axolotl refuses to undergo metamorphosis, remaining in its larval form for its entire life. This state of neoteny allows them to reach sexual maturity while still possessing the features of a juvenile. They keep their gills, their tail fins, and their aquatic lifestyle, even as they grow to adult size. Yet, if forced by environmental changes or human intervention, they can undergo a dramatic terrestrial transformation. They are masters of regeneration, capable of regrowing entire limbs, hearts, and even parts of their brain. In the axolotl, we see a creature that has opted out of the standard biological journey in favor of eternal youth. The axolotl is a biological mystery, a creature that reminds us that sometimes the best way to change is not to change at all. It possesses the power to rebuild itself from scratch, a living testament to the resilience of life. Number 2. The deep-sea anglerfish, a metamorphosis born from the ultimate parasitic sacrifice. In the vast darkness of the midnight zone, the tiny male is born with one goal: to find a mate before he starves. When he finds her, he bites down and never lets go. Enzymes dissolve their skin, fusing their circulatory systems forever. The male becomes a permanent appendage of the female, his organs atrophying until he is nothing but a source of sperm. She can carry multiple males, each one a parasitic survivor that has given up its identity for a chance at life. The female continues to hunt in the abyss, her glowing lure a beacon for both prey and potential mates. It is a metamorphosis of total union, where two individuals become a single chimeric organism. The anglerfish reminds us that in the dark, the price of connection is often the loss of the self, a life defined by a single final bite. Number 1. The immortal jellyfish, the only creature on Earth that has conquered the finality of death. When faced with physical damage or the onset of old age, it can hit the reset button on its entire life cycle. Through a process called transdifferentiation, its cells are rewritten, allowing the adult to become a juvenile once more. It returns to the seafloor as a polyp, ready to release a new generation of genetically identical medusae. This cycle can theoretically repeat forever, making the Turritopsis dohrnii biologically immortal. It is the ultimate metamorphosis, a refusal to follow the linear path from birth to the grave. In this tiny creature, we find nature's most radical answer to the riddle of existence. The immortal jellyfish is a reminder that in the grand design of life, the end is often just another beginning. Life begins again, Identical, eternal, unstoppable. We have witnessed the radical, the horrific, and the beautiful, nature's most profound acts of transformation. The world is constantly rewriting itself, driven by an unstoppable urge to survive at any cost. If you enjoyed this journey into the dark secrets of metamorphosis, join us for our next exploration of the natural world. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay curious and embrace the change.